I know nothing about this show. It's another one that I'm going in just completely blindly. I guess the only thing that I have seen is the poster, which didn't really reveal anything to me. I assume that the guy in the poster is gonna be the main character, and I recognize the actor, but I can't remember his name. I don't know the premise of the show. I don't even know the genre. This is how I like to do it. Maybe I should start guessing before I start watching, like what kind of genre it can be, and maybe even try to interpret the poster. I think that in the poster the guy had a little guy inside his head sitting at a desk. At least that's what I remember. An office worker, I imagine. Something work related. I don't think it's gonna be like a sitcom set in the office or something. It seemed like serious, maybe a drama. Maybe a detective, a thriller, not sure, but I'm definitely getting the serious tone. Maybe from the cold color scheme, maybe from the arrangement of everything, maybe from the, I'm not sure if the expression on the guy's face was neutral or more somber, but it was definitely not cheerful. These are my guesses so far, and I think that without further ado, we should start this reaction. An Apple original. I think the only Apple original that I've seen was called Cherry. It was a movie with Tom Holland as a drug addict.
Who are you?
I don't think it was that great, but I like the soundtrack. Oh, that's an interesting opening.
Who are you?
That's what I'm wondering as well. I feel like it would be uncomfortable to climb on the table wearing heels. Is this like a kidnapping situation?
Taking a brief survey.
Who is that?
5 questions.
Is being
Now, I know
on
you're
the
sleeping.
table a requirement for this?
Right as rain.
Who's speaking?
I don't think they're in the room. They could be miles away. Is she drugged? So unsteady on her feet. Oh, for a second I thought that those were like padded walls, like she's in an insane asylum,
Hey!
but I think that they're
Open the door.
actually they're made out of some hard material.
Just thrilled to chat once we've run the survey. Shall we begin with question 1?
I'm not taking your survey.
What is the survey for, I wonder?
Hey!
This would be so terrifying.
Hey!
What if whatever is behind that door is worse? She might be the safest in this room.
5 questions.
What do I get at the end?
Probably not to leave.
Depends on your answers.
Interesting. Is it
Great. Off we
possible to answer in a way that
To
would
start.
allow her to leave?
go. First name will do.
Does she not remember? Seems weird to me. I always assumed that if you lost your memories, you would be aware instantly that you don't have any memories. But it seems like she just realized it.
Question 3. Please name any U.S. state or territory.
I don't know. Delaware. What is...
Okay, so she has knowledge of the
What is
world, just
Mr.
not of
Egan's
her own
favorite
identity.
I don't... That one makes no sense.
What is or was the color of your mother's eyes?
A very personal question. It's expected to elicit emotion. I wonder
What the
if
hell?
it's significant that she picked Delaware. Maybe some repressed memories. That looks like the guy from the poster. I think it's him.
That's a perfect score.
So they were checking if she remembers herself. Did they erase her memories? What happened? That sounds performative. Is he like practicing how to cry? Okay, now I'm not sure. I feel like it's probably real. Now I feel like a bitch. Something horrible must have happened. Okay. No, I didn't get to read what it said. Is that a badge? So he's going in for work at an office, I imagine. That was part of my speculation about the show. Ooh, I like how this is very symmetrical. It's almost identical. I'm actually trying to find any differences. Reminds me of that game where you find the differences. So far everything looks very clean and clinical and cold.
Thank you.
She seems like a very stern woman. A lot of repeating colors. Grays, greens, whites. Who's that guy? A different watch. It's like he removed the things that are identifying him. So he's replacing his personality. Also noticed there was a little red star on the watch. Yeah, the one he took off. I wonder if it's significant or it's just a brand. Maybe he's a communist. Are they worried he brought in a gun? He seems very unhappy, like he doesn't like his job. That was weird. Interesting shift in tone and atmosphere. He seems more chirpy, the music reflects it as well. Yeah, maybe he's not really chirpy, but he seems more relaxed at least. Oh, it's the tissue that he used when he was crying. He seems confused by it. Okay, he's definitely chirpy now. Like he's in his element now. I don't like those hairs that protrude on the sides of his neck. That's a long walk. His office must be on the other side of the building. He doesn't seem perturbed by it though. Seems like he's enjoying himself. Again, the same color scheme. Those computers look pretty old. Doesn't seem like many people work in this office. Is he the only one who works here?
Alright.
You sick?
Okay, somebody else is there.
If you breathe on me, I'll rip your larynx out.
Wow. That, I feel like ripping out my germ-ridden larynx would get you sicker than just me breathing on.
Good point. Office banter.
I think he's out.
If he doesn't process today, they won't know until Tuesday of next. It's typical Lumen bullshit.
Oh, careful, guy.
Hi, kids. What's for dinner?
God damn.
Oh, I know this actor too, but I don't remember from where.
How many reasons did we come up with?
8.
8 reasons. Chief of...
What do they do with these numbers?
It's confusing. Like, did the kids make you dinner in this scenario, or?
Yeah, what kind of a shit dad are you?
No PD?
We think he's
Did
sick.
he remove them? Did he throw them out? What's wrong with them?
Back then, we were grateful for it.
That's fucked, dude.
Yes, very fucked.
I thought that they were putting them in like a trash bin, but that looks more like a box. So maybe the numbers are special, important somehow. They store them. Maybe they're good then.
Mark, could I have a word?
That sounded a little bit sinister. I'm actually suspicious of everything here. It seems like a very tense environment. Macro data refinement. Refinement usually means removing impurities, so that makes me think that the numbers are bad after all, and they're getting rid of them.
Last time you saw Miss Cobell, she was in her old office. Now she's in her new office. It's a completely different office.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. Is he a robot? Okay. She's an administrator, a boss maybe.
Nice office.
Ugh, it's horrid.
Yeah, the old one was better.
He seems very agreeable, or at least that's
You look
part
awful.
he
You look
he
hungover.
plays.
The board will be joining us remotely today. I have Mark.
Oh, that's the thing that was on the table. So they must be in the same building.
He is no longer with this company.
Did they
Is
dispose
no
of him?
longer with this company.
This seems ominous.
You guys were one of my favorite office friendships.
I'm getting
there should've
really
been
weird and
some
bad vibes
note-
from these two.
We'd love to tell you, but unfortunately non-disclosure policy forbids.
I don't think they would love to tell him. Did he choose to
Would you
leave?
place your key card on my desk?
She's very calmly intimidating.
Oh, a handshake is available upon request.
What a strange way to say it. He looks unsure.
Thank you. May I have a handshake?
He's not certain if he wants it.
The board won't be contributing to this meeting. Vocally.
Why not? This is so strange.
Don't be sad.
I'm fine. We'll be fine.
I know you and Petey were close. He was the only one who really appreciated your humor.
Everything's fine. So I'm supposed to start with
Does
this
he actually not care?
input survey?
Or is
Isn't
this
that
just a
little weird?
front?
Well, what if I just talk to her?
Well, she deserves to have the information presented to her in the proper order, just as you had.
Trainee becomes agitated and demands to leave. Skip to page 19.
She has to ask 3 times for you to let her.
Right. Yes.
But why? 3, a number. Numbers have a lot of importance in this.
I just love seeing you all come in like this. Go on
This
ahead,
guy is
Mary.
really creepy, sinister. And also, this room is so dark. I wonder why. Is it just symbolism? Like they're doing some shady stuff?
Who are you?
Okay, so this takes us to the beginning of the episode. I wonder what is the significance of her being on the table? Is it important to? Oh. How essential is this? Is it gonna ruin something?
Okay. Hi there, you on the table. I wonder if you'd mind taking a brief survey?
Who is that?
Didn't he say that he's done this before? Who wrote those questions? Oh, she's right there.
Open the door.
Mark,
I guess he did open the
Just thrilled
door
to
and
chat
was
once
standing
we've
there
run the survey.
in the
Shall we
beginning,
begin with
but
question
he
one?
could have walked down the corridor or something. Didn't realize they were this physically close. They seem alarmed by her
you're not supposed
behavior.
to do that.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Is this because he skipped the preamble? Is there a certain way everyone is supposed to behave in?
What?
Well, there was a preamble, which I was supposed to
Yeah.
read before the survey to lead into the
Is it like a
questions and
trigger phrase
straight
that
into the
makes
survey.
somebody
Am I
behave a certain
livestock?
way?
I'm sorry?
Did you grow me as food and that's why I have no memories?
That's quite a crazy conclusion to jump to.
Grew a
But
full
I think she
human,
would be in a
gave him
lab if that was the
consciousness,
case, or like in a
grew
cell.
nails, and-
I don't know.
I don't
know
think
you.
that they
No,
would
you're
be
not
asking her
livestock. Good
questions
boy.
either.
Well, the good news is you're at an orientation.
Orientation?
You see, you have been hired to a position on the severed floor of Lumen Industries.
The what floor?
So they hired her. I had this thought that maybe she hired them to remove her memories for some reason.
You're
And that's what they do in
confused
this
about the
company.
severance
But they're
procedure.
hiring her.
Before we hop on
Actually, they did mention that
to
he
start,
was in her
imagine
position
yourself
before.
as a seesaw.
Uh,
Ow! Take a beat, please.
This is an appropriate reaction. Can't blame her.
Okay, my name's Mark.
Uh-oh, he's going off the script.
I told that voice I would find him and kill him.
Did you kill the voice?
Doubt it.
No. No, that voice's name was Petey, and he became my
Oh.
best friend.
you supposedly don't care about
Is a
or
lifer.
pretend to not care.
A life to be had.
That's a strange way to describe work.
Well, you see, life, like a seesaw, would.
Let me the fuck out of here!
He looks so alarmed. Again, maybe him going off script and just talking like a person to her is causing these adverse reactions.
Go
You would
ask
expect that
one more time.
talking to a person like a person would actually calm them instead.
I would like to leave the building now.
There's no way they're letting
I
her go
understand
though.
you don't. The departments are pretty spaced out, but it'll all fill in one day. They're planning
This
expansion.
room kind of reminds me of Stanley Parable.
No, you're a
I'm not
replacement.
even sure that there was anything similar there. Actually, the whole building and the atmosphere, the slightly ominous music, the setting, the mystery reminds me of the game.
Well, once you leave, I just can't watch you leave.
Why not?
Of course you can't.
Well, clearly he cannot or not allowed to. He looks upset. Is she gonna get murdered on the other side? Is that why he's upset? Is it the same corridor? Did she just teleport? Is this like a pocket dimension? Is there a supernatural element to this show? He looks like this is procedural, like this routine, like this is absolutely normal. Probably is, because it's literally in their script. They're supposed to go through these motions. So this is what always happens.
This isn't like hell or something?
No.
In a way.
Well, you did leave just now. Out into the stairwell, at least. You left, but you came back. Come on.
Really odd.
You are gonna be fun.
So they let you leave, but they don't
I do
actually let you
sometimes.
leave. Interesting.
Because it's a video.
Don't watch it, maybe it will brainwash you. Does her name have hell in it for a reason? No, she's gonna get in trouble
Have a seat.
derailing things. He
Are you
looks
mad at
like...
me?
Yeah, I was about to say, and he just said it in a way like a kid that's in trouble.
Well,
And she's talking like... Oh my god, she's talking like she's his mom and she's disappointed in him and angry.
She used to say that there was good news and bad news about hell. Good news is, hell is just the product of a morbid human imagination. The bad news is, whatever humans can imagine, they can usually create.
I don't know what that means.
Maybe it means
My
that
department
ideas
like
can be
yours neither
dangerous.
so good or so bad. You know what makes the difference? The people.
Yeah. Well, I guess he didn't get punished, as far as I could tell. Is it gonna be her? Yeah, so she agreed to this. She didn't hire them as I thought, but she did agree.
Acknowledge that henceforth my access to my memories will be spatially dictated. I will
Spatially dictated.
collections whilst on Lumen's severed basement floor, nor retain work memories upon my ascent.
Oh, that's why Mark changed in the elevator. Why would anyone do this to themselves? This is tricky because this is essentially a different version of her because she doesn't have her memories. So she didn't really consent to it. But the other her did. Very ethically and morally gray and questionable.
You'll leave at 5. Well,
But not really, not her.
it's so 5:15. But it won't feel like it, not to this version of you anyway.
Exactly, so she's always stuck working basically.
You'll never know.
It's horrible.
I have no choice.
Exactly.
Well, every time you find yourself here, it's because you chose to come back.
It's a different her. Our memories make us who we are. He looks so disapproving. But she sat down to
Hello.
He's funny and a little bit creepy. But she sat down to work, but I don't think they explained to her what she's supposed to be working on. Like, there's no way she knows what to do with these numbers, right? Unless they put that information in her head along with removing her memories. Okay, just like that, the other him is gone. Ceases to exist until it's time to work again. So now it makes sense to remove all these identifying things to replace them with the other ones, plain ones. It's like stripping yourself of objects that reaffirm your identity while your mind was stripped off of your memories. Why are they lying? Can they not just tell them that there was an accident with a colleague? Is he not aware of the nature of what they do there in the company? And if they told him that then it might concern him about what happens at work and if it's dangerous or bad in some way.
Sorry.
Oh my god. And they don't even know
Maybe
that
keep
they
your
do
eyes on the
know each
icy
other.
road.
Or I guess them actually don't know each other. This is tricky. I wonder if he ever thinks about how people on this parking lot, probably fellow workers, but I guess maybe not everyone who works at the company undergoes the severance procedure, but still it makes sense to wonder if the other you knows whoever also there leaving the building. I guess the whole point of this separation is to not really wonder about your work life and just live your personal one. Doesn't seem like he lives with anyone else. So he has no people at work because he's not there at work, and he has no people in real life. He just sits in complete darkness like that, drinking by himself, watching TV. Pretty lonely.
Yeah, well, trash comes tomorrow night. Tonight's recycling. Yeah, it is weird.
He's calling his next door
Oh,
neighbor.
yours,
Why
there's
not
no
just
room for...
go there, knock on their door? Guess he's not a big people person.
Hey,
Hey.
did you forget?
Okay, at least he knows somebody.
So, if there's no dinner, how is it dinner?
What?
You remember that time when we were kids and I was just generally a way better sibling than you?
Oh, must have slipped my mind.
Okay, so she's his sister.
So I know we're nearing the anniversary, so I just thought maybe you'd want to be around people.
Anniversary?
Oh, they apologized, thank God. Did they happen to tack an explanation onto that
It's
apology?
fine. Got a gift card.
You got a
She
gift
seems
card.
suspicious of
Where's she going to?
his workplace. Or not a
Gifts.
fan, at least. Wonder if she ever tried to visit him there. They probably forbid it. Wouldn't that raise some questions?
Okay.
Hi. No, what a lot of people overlook, I think, is that
Are they having water for dinner?
Now, Mark, Rickon told Rebecca and me that you're a former history professor.
yeah.
So I'm curious for your take on all of this.
Should be more curious about his current job.
Apparently, it would have been a faux pas to have called it World War I. All right.
Well, at the time it was the only one, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, no one would have called it World War One because World War II hadn't happened.
Exactly. It's not like they thought they were making a war franchise.
Oh, I love literature.
Right? But Mark is a Lumen man now.
She has crazy eyes.
I'm in the corporate archives division, so.
Oh, so you know all the dirty
So they're aware of this,
Mark's work is sensitive enough as to require.
but they don't seem to know much about the company. Okay, so
Wow,
a procedure is public knowledge
that's something, isn't it?
and seems to be making them uncomfortable.
It's also, I think, something that's his choice to tell people or not, right, Rickon?
Oh my God.
No,
Oh God,
no.
Mark.
So it's something controversial.
No, I think it's fascinating. I mean, I wish I could do it. I just
Why
happen to
not?
be thinking
Why
about,
not
you
do
know,
it?
the other one.
Well, there is no other one. It's
There
me.
certainly is.
Do the
Not
job.
really.
I just don't grasp the
The
visual
whole
element.
point of that separation is that it's not really you. You don't get to experience that.
Well, it's simple. One's memories are bifurcated, so when you're not at work, you have no recollection of what it is you do there.
Yeah, it's two different experiences, two different
Well, they
identities living in the same body.
When you're at work, you can't access outside memories. So in effect, that version of you is trapped there.
Yeah, like a slave.
not
They don't
trapped,
have a
but
choice in the matter. All they have is work. That's their life, essentially. But at the same time, this version of him also suffers from not having a huge chunk of their life to experience. Like, he basically wakes up and he goes to work, he ceases to exist, and then when he gets back, it's basically he has few hours before he sleeps. He doesn't get to live or experience much as well. But at least he made this choice, unlike the other him.
Thank you. Absolutely.
I definitely stand behind Mark.
They sound like they're lying.
If I give you $3,000,
I'm hungry. I want a
will you forgive me?
sandwich now.
Well, because your child is innocent of tonight's atrocities, I'll wait until after it's born to murder you.
Hey, how's the good doctor therapy man with that weird little mustache?
He goes to therapy.
You're not going.
Guess not.
Well, the work things helped.
Yeah.
He
I'm proud of
cries
you
in
for
his
taking that
car, so
job.
he's clearly not fine.
I just feel like forgetting about her for 8 hours a day isn't the same thing as healing.
Oh. So that might be how he gets through the grieving process.
Already here?
He doesn't...
No.
He seems closed off.
Why?
Doesn't really want to get personal.
You're definitely staying here tonight.
No, I'm not.
I'm making all the bed sheets myself, so I won't. finish this
Interesting
bed
choice of a
at the same
bed.
time. Right.
Oh, Rickon's colleague told us that switching out the beds as the child grows can wound that child.
Irreparably.
Interesting.
But if you provide said child with all of its beds upon birth, you allow it to progress across the room at its own rate.
Never heard of that. Wonder if it's a thing in real life. So there is a choice of a regular adult bed. I know that he said that this one is very comfortable, but I'm sure that the other one is too. And regardless of their motivation of putting him in that bed, the show put him in that bed for a reason. So is it to say that he's like a child, that he's immature? I don't think he is that. Could it be because he feels like he doesn't have control over his life? His work life, at least, gives that control up. What's there? Can't see. The light is pretty bright in my room. If you saw something weird outside, would you really go out like that? Oh, especially if it's a weird stranger. Wait, is it his friend from work? The one that was fired or left? I'm not sure.
Speaking of which, you still smell like a distillery.
I'm sorry. I just had to drown out the memory of Mom and Dad switching out my beds when we were kids.
We've been sitting on that one.
All the copy-paste houses. But then again, I think that's typical for suburban areas of American towns. So even when he's not working, what little free time he has, he spends like cleaning the house and watching TV in the dark and having no dinner and sleeping in the kid's bed. What a life.
Okay, so recycling was last night, Mrs. Selvig. Tonight's garbage, and you
VIP area, huh?
You know, I actually can't talk right now. I'm out at dinner. No, by myself.
It seems
Bar and grill.
nosy, snoopy,
Excuse me.
suspicious. Oh, wait, it's him.
Hi, kids.
What's for dinner?
Sounds like an inside joke.
Your voice is different here. Worse.
Well, that's not plausible. Everyone in my department is...
Severed. Severed. I was.
Okay, well, severance is pretty permanent.
Yeah. Bypassing the implant wasn't easy. I had help.
Okay, interesting. So he definitely wasn't fired. He quit, even though it seems like you're not allowed to quit. He like ran away.
Work, and instead of lodging a complaint, you...
No. I tried that first. So did you.
Wow, so they are literally trapped. I guess it makes sense because it's the other them that makes the decision. Also, he said implant.
Yeah.
I thought that they erase memories, but I guess they put some sort of physical block in the brain.
If something happens to me, the things I know need to stay known.
Okay, maybe tell him something right now, because that sounds like famous last words. Like you say that and then you die and you never disclose the information. Unless it's in the envelope, I guess.
I'm your best friend. You're my very good friend.
So is Pips like the place where all the Lumen workers go to if they get a gift card? If it is, then surely there would be like surveillance. It would be dangerous to approach him there. And Petey should know that. I don't know. Okay, I doubt that there's a lot he could have written in this card. A lot, I mean, like important information wise.
I had to grab something and I know it's not appropriate. Though I'm sure you'd be a really fucking awesome niece. I used to think it would take a monster to put someone in a place like that office. Especially if the person was himself.
Kinda agree.
But we're not monsters, Mark. Not real ones.
But why make that decision?
But if you do, there's an address on the back of this card. Go alone, and you'll find the beginning of a very long answer.
Interesting. What could possibly be there that he couldn't have shared with him at the cafe or in the card?
Mark, is that you?
Hi,
Wait,
Mrs. Selvig.
the voice, that's the woman from work, isn't it?
It's no problem.
Is that why they're not showing her?
You know my mother was a Catholic.
And she talked about her mother too at work, but she said she was an atheist.
Mark,
it is her. Is she aware? Like, does she have her memories intact? Because she looks shady and she sounds shady. She did say different information about her mother, but doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't remember. It could be part of the front. And yeah, the way she looks, I think she knows. And maybe she was put there to keep an eye on him. Directed by Ben Stiller. Kind of forgot that he was a director. This was very intriguing. Such a unique and unusual idea. There's nothing that I expected or could have predicted, which I like. I'm confused and I have a lot of questions, but not in a way that nothing makes sense and it's stupid and the writing is bad, but more like in a way that it's a tightly woven mystery puzzle that I can't wait to unravel. So far, I really want to know why anyone would undergo the severance procedure, because it doesn't seem like anyone is happy in that scenario. The work version of you, like I said, doesn't get a choice. It essentially trapped, only knows work as their living experience and nothing else. Also doesn't have their memories, so they're basically a different person. The identity was erased and replaced by whatever is being created by those, making all those new memories and building new relationships and living those different experiences. So it's not like cloning yourself, but it's like essentially, as I mentioned before, two separate identities sharing a body. And on the other hand, the other you barely gets to live. It just, nobody is winning there. So it makes me wonder if there's a greater purpose that makes it all worth it, or at the very least a compelling idea that Lumen Company sells to people to convince them to join them and to undergo this procedure, well, it's probably a lie, but that's how they hook them. It didn't seem like general public has a clear or any idea of what's going on there, be it like what actually is going on there or some sort of lie that is being fed to people. It doesn't seem like anyone knows. So if there was a greater purpose, I think that it would have been mentioned at that no dinner. I'm really confused why anyone would willingly subject themselves to it. I guess the only thing that comes to mind is that you just want to separate your personal and work life so it doesn't have to weigh on you. But I think there's a lot of other stuff that starts weighing on you if you do that, like the whole morally corrupt aspect of it, how selfish it is to subject the other you to it, and how they have no say in the matter. I think that that would weigh on any decent person's conscience. At the same time, it could be trauma related, like in case of Mark, that's how he deals with his loss, by not really dealing with it. So it could be depression related, which is an interesting thing to consider. Another thing that I really want to know is what they do with the numbers exactly, what those numbers signify, if it even does anything. It could be just a sham, it could be just bullshit that they feed to the workers while they have some other purpose that they serve for the higher ups. So there could be some benefit that they're getting from them working there, but I can't think of anything. So that's really interesting to me, because I have so many questions and I'm already invested in the plot and the characters. I can't wait to watch more. This show started really strongly and it's so far like nothing else that I have seen. I really enjoyed this episode and I hope that you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, like and subscribe and maybe leave a comment. But for now, bye.